All right, we call the April 24th special meeting of the Fire Commission to order at 7 p.m. Everybody join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, an unfamiliar face to some people. We got a new commissioner to replace BJ Brown, who had to resign. We got Todd Smith. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you, what your interest in the commission was, how you came to get appointed.
I've been in town 28 years now. Moved up from Darien. Was chairman of the commission down there back then. Assistant chief at one point. 41 years with Mullen Fire. Retired November of 22. Had 2 hips replaced and starting to get around again. So it's like I'm retired, looking for this to get involved. It's, with my background, it's something I felt that I could help.
Excellent. Very good. Well, welcome.
We all introduce ourselves.
Yeah, how about we all introduce ourselves to Todd?
Oh, I just did before.
Okay.
When I walked in.
Oh, okay.
I'm Rich Straighten. I'm a selectman here also in town, native of the town, many years.
I'm Fred Ingram, current chair of the commission, former chief of the Bethel Fire Department.
I'm Doug Cuny, 32-year resident, 25 years in the fire department of Ridgefield. On the volunteer side, with 5 years as chief.
And then we have our 2 chiefs, Chief Baker of the Stony Hill Fire Department and Chief McCollum of the Bethel Fire Department and some of their entourage. All right, we'll move on. Consideration of approval of the regular meeting minutes for March 13th. Everybody have a chance to review those?
Yes.
Motion to approve them?
Make a motion, we approve them as read.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Discussion? Opposed? So
I'll
carried.
abstain since I wasn't here, so I can't.
1 abstention. Chief's reports. Who would like to go first? Chief McCollum, shaking hands.
So all the apparatus has gone out to the gal tonight and been in service. Waiting back. Any surprises? No big surprises. That's great. IDF came and went over the ladder truck. No real surprises there. 2 things they noted, which we've never had them, is the alarms on the outriggers. And also they said there was a little bit of slippage on the pistons, but it's equal, very small amount.
Which
And
pistons?
as we get pistons
Which
go,
Which pistons?
I believe it was on the ladder itself. He hasn't given me the report yet. I'm waiting for the
I mean,
report.
up and down or retract?
Okay. Which he didn't seem too worried about. And in the past couple of years, we have done a couple pistons over that were down, like on the jacks, as they got worse and leaked more and rebuilt. So that's really where we're at. Our first live journey's coming up this weekend. That sign up's up at the firehouse, I believe. The budget's pretty much the budget. We're paying bills. I mean, I just paid the supplement bill. So today, that'll go out tomorrow. But again, I'm waiting on the report. Once I have the report, we'll know more. But he didn't seem too concerned.
Will you begin with a digital copy of that report?
You know, I don't know. I can ask for that. I can ask for that.
Either way, could you forward a copy somehow to the commission?
I can certainly do that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No, I mean, we still have the 2 guys in the officer 2 class, but that's ongoing. And really, other than that, it's pretty quiet. We're gearing up now for Memorial Day, the parade.
Chris, what's your life burn gonna be?
I believe the first one's New Haven. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we have to travel. It's either New Haven or Fairfield. Danbury's pretty much not been available to us, except once in a while we're able to get over there with like a Fire 1 or a Fire 2 class. And Milford is doing a brand new facility, a Connex facility with ARPA funds that was approved for them. So once that's open, we we are gonna look into seeing if we can join. There's a collaborative there, a collective there that you gotta join, but it'd be a one-time fee to join it, and it'd be a heck of a lot closer for us.
In the past, it used to be, you had to be a member of the Litchfield County
Yeah,
Chiefs.
that's what you
As
have to
opposed to the
join.
Fairfield County Chiefs.
Right, and, other than that, I mean, we could probably go there and it's a lot closer and it's a lot less wear and tear on the apparatus. And other people, because, you know, travel down and back, you know, especially back after you've been in fire school for at least a couple hours doing stuff is, you know, and then you gotta still come back and clean up.
The only guy having fun is the driver.
Exactly,
He's the only one having fun. In it.
you're right. He's driving and operating the pump, right? That's it.
Thank you.
All right. Motion to accept Chief McCollum's report.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Chief Baker.
Okay, good evening. We did have our hose testing done. We had minimal failures. We had bore length of 5-inch failed, 2 lengths of 1 3/4, a 10-foot length of 1 3/4, and a smooth bore nozzle. Everything was basically able to be replaced with bare hose and what we kept off of engine 11. All of our trucks have gone out to gallons a night. Engine 3 is still up there. It's its 3rd day. So the other 2 were like a day and a half. So there was no surprises, nothing mentioned. We gave them a list of some minor things on engine 3. I don't think it's anything major to worry about. I know you all have copies of the budget. You're going to notice that we're over in the supply and repair, the 5202 account. We did have some unforeseen items that had to be repaired, quite a few pagers, some portables. We had to upgrade our docking station for the 5 gas meter, which was $2,000 alone that we weren't expecting. And that's only like $500 in the budget for that. I talked to the assistant comptroller, Sebi. She says, we really don't care about the line items as long as you stay within your budget. You're always within your budget. And I said, I absolutely don't have any foreseen problems with coming within the budget. You know, we already talked about reducing some of the professional training and doing in-house training. There's some money in the other budgets, as you can see. We were very pleased with the outcome of the vote last night. So we are obviously continuing to look for a ladder truck. And I don't have anything more to report other than more on the command vehicle. I know it's on the agenda, so we can bring it up at that point, but that's all I have.
Motion to accept Chief Baker's report.
Make a motion, we accept it.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? So carried. All right, chairman's update. You know, this may excite some of you, or may not excite some of you. I don't know. We'll see. Everybody's got all the financial information. My bad, I forgot to put it on the agenda. I was intending to discuss the, 3rd quarter expenses for the 2 departments. We'll move that to our next regular meeting. I forgot to put it on the agenda, and we can't add it since this is a special meeting. So that takes care of that. Let's see what else I got. The selectmen forwarded the FOI policy regarding, cell phone use, computer use at meetings. Everybody still familiar with that, or you need to read it again? You all good on that? Don't use your phones. All right. What else we got? Still getting some negative comments, regarding, apparatus acquisition, cheap cars acquisitions, social media posts, regarding, getting a smart car for a chief's car, talking about getting used ladder trucks, with bargain basement prices. It's not helping your cause, guys. It really isn't. You got to stop with the negativity. We're doing our best to get you what you need. Especially the social media posts. Everybody sees it. The Board of Finance sees it. The Board of Selectmen sees it. I mean, we're all here trying to help you get what you want. So please, the negative stuff has got to stop.
Where's that coming from?
Who's posted it?
Look on social media.
I don't do social media, so I don't,
It's news to me.
Yeah, and how about just a list of the people and we'll take care of it in-house?
If it's any of my people, I'll take
Start
care
with
of it.
Mr. Spinell.
Take care of it immediately.
You didn't hear it on the thing. But, okay. That's your pity, so
And then he goes down and he talks to Mr. Wannet out of West Rapids. So now, all the Reading is, Bethel's buying a smart car for a Chiefs car. It's just, it doesn't help anybody's cause. It's gotta stop. All right, now for the part that may excite you or may not excite you. Obviously, you saw the budget got passed last night and all the advisory questions and, there's a ladder truck coming to town. A ladder truck has been found and is available for delivery in November of 25 or sooner. It's a 100-foot Quint with a 1500 GPM pump on it, manufactured by E1. I'd like to schedule a special meeting to discuss that with the sales representative from Greenwood Fire Apparatus, I believe it is called. Greenwood Emergency Vehicles. Our local dealers out of North Attleboro, Massachusetts. He's provided me a set of specs that I'll give everybody tonight. You can all take them home, review them, look and see if they meet your specifications. As far as I can tell, this truck has everything on it that the Pierce truck you guys spec'd out. I mean, obviously it doesn't have a puck pump because puck is trademarked by Pierce, but I mean, it's very comparable to the Pierce truck that you spec'd out. So this truck is available for $1.3 million, give or take. Obviously some stuff will have to be added for, tool mounting and graphics and radio installations, which is not included in it at this point. But right now I have the vehicle placed on hold. They're holding it for a period of 2 weeks for us. And I hope to schedule a special meeting to discuss it with the sales representative and forward it to the board of. I'd like to hold the special meeting next Wednesday. Everybody's available.
That's what the first.
Yeah, it'd be the first.
Hold on, I'm getting a little confused. So obviously you made the calls to E1. Right?
Yeah.
And you got the price. But shouldn't the truck committee and the committee of Stony Hill talk to the representative of the manufacturers, like Pierce and
Well,
E1?
this truck became available and we have it on hold for 2 weeks. I mean, it's a stock truck. I mean, if we don't act on it, somebody else will. I mean, I'd like Stony Hill to look at this truck. I mean, I made copies of it. Everybody has a week to review it, see if it meets your needs. And I mean, if we want this truck, we have to act on it quickly is the point. It's just like if a stock unit became available for Pierce. You know what's happening with these stock trucks. They're going quick.
Okay.
I was able to get this dealer to hold it for 2 weeks for us, no commitment hold.
Can I make a comment about that? That truck has been there for a while.
It's not even built yet.
I understand. I've already been on the phone with them people also, and I have the email with the same truck that you are talking about. And I will go through that whole spec with you and everything. But can we also give Pierce a chance to come to me with a truck? I just talked to him this morning, and like I told the gentleman at E1 to wait until after we had the referendum, and I was gonna call him back. And then we were gonna deal with both of them, but that was my whole game plan, was to wait until yesterday, until the vote was done, before I contacted anybody. And I contacted Jeff Horn this morning, and he was my next call, was the guy from Massachusetts who I've already spoke to. And that truck, I show you the email right now, he has two different ones that we can get. One's 103 and one's 105, I believe it was.
No, he only has the one. I talked to him today.
Okay. And I have no problem looking at it, but I would still like the opportunity to look at Pierce also and let's give these people a little opportunity here and not
I'm not
just.
saying we shouldn't give everybody an opportunity. I'm just saying this truck, this is the opportunity we have. If this is a truck that we're interested in, we have to act on it in a timely
I
fashion.
understand, and I would like to give Pierce the opportunity also, and let's see if we can get something and keep all of our trucks the same, which we have been doing in the past. And I would really like that opportunity just to.
And I afford you guys every opportunity. This has already been, the selectmen has seen this, the board of finance has seen this. They're eager to move on it. I mean, if
Yeah, because.
they want us to,
The selectmen have seen this, not the board of selectmen.
right, that's what I said, the select.
Oh, selectmen.
and the Board of Finance to see this.
What's the price tag on the Pierce?
Was like one.
1.7.
And this is 1.3.
1.
What's the delivery time on a Pierce?
Well, it all depends. There's some things that I was in contact with the salesman that we might have a build slot for this year, but it's not set in stone. Or we could get a demo, like we've been trying to get a demo. That would be, we're not sure when it'd be built. It could be built next month. We could get one in, August or they have build slots available that are already pre-built for a demo, which might not be what we want. It might not be the puck style where we can get the 2-fly 35 versus, I don't even know what this has, if it's a 3-fly.
This has got a 3.5, 3.5, 3-fly 35.
Which is a little bit different throwing a 3-fly 35 versus a 2-fly. It's the weight and all.
What was way back when, what was that demo Pierce, the one that was in the station? What was that one?
That was
What'd
a
that
puck,
cost?
that was a puck, and that was 800.
It was 800, right?
800 something thousand.
Discounted off of 1.1 million at the time?
Yeah,
Like that?
Yeah, that one was, 950.
Yeah, so it was 9 and change.
But that was 3 years ago.
That was, 2 years ago. It was 2 years old when we looked at it.
So I'm just looking out for the opportunity for just to,
Right.
and I agree with you.
I understand.
I was already in contact, just like I told you, I've called every dealership on the whole coast, trying to find a truck. I've been very diligently doing this, and
Sure you have.
I would just like the opportunity to finish dealing with Pearson. Let's see if we can keep our trucks the same.
Right, my only point,
He wants to get this out too, for them to look at.
Yeah.
They haven't
Can
seen
you get in touch with Pierce and have something for the next meeting on the 1st?
I've had, I will have.
It doesn't hurt to talk.
No, and the representative from Pierce has no problem coming down here. I called him this morning and I didn't realize that he was in Chicago, and I woke him up, to tell him that we had the money, and he's got 5 people working on trying to either get us a build slot this year or a demo deal done. So,
Doesn't hurt to get them competing against one another.
no, and I agree with you 100%. And I have no problem looking at that and talking to that guy again, getting him down here. Let's get them both down here together.
well, it's, the E1 guy is willing to come next Wednesday at 7:00, we can have a special meeting. If that works for everybody, I'd like to schedule that.
I'm good.
I'll distribute a copy of this to every, all the commissioners, and everybody can review it and prepare questions, and if something.
Do you have an extra copy that I could take?
John can make one copy his. I made 7
I
copies.
think I have a copy of it already.
I got 7 copies. If Chief McCollum wants to forego his copy, or if Chief Baker wants to make a copy of his copy, that can get you a copy. Good?
Yeah.
Everybody good with special meeting next week?
So a special meeting next Wednesday. But again, I want to make sure that
I
Stony
will
Hill Fire
bring-
Department
I will
has
bring-
information from Pierce.
I will bring whatever I can get from Pierce. I just
Pierce.
literally texted him while I was sitting here before the meeting
Mhm.
started to see if he had any updates for me before, because I wanted to come here with whatever he,
Correct. Okay. And that's what time is that gonna be?
7:00.
7.
Here, obviously here in
This room?
I don't know if it'll be this room. I'll have to check with the secretary, with room availabilities, and
Yes, I will double check.
I looked today, and there's no meetings at all.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so tomorrow, then I will just put it in meeting.
So about
So
the
then
meeting room,
we'll- meeting room, I have to available, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, so that meeting is gonna be specifically,
it'll be specifically to discuss ladder truck acquisition for the Stony Hill Fire Department.
right,
Something along that line. That'll be the only thing I'm. gonna check.
that way E1 and Pierce could both come,
Yeah,
is my point.
Yeah.
And we can get that comparison that night,
Yeah,
which
that's
I
what
think
you want.
is a great idea, to have them both here in the same room or down wherever, talking it out and telling everybody what's what, apples to apples.
yeah, that'll be the
Makes
only
sense.
agenda item will be a ladder truck for Stony Hill Fire Department. All right, so I'll,
You never know.
here's copies for everybody before I forget to give them out. Send 2 more down, copy for you through Chiefs, and Chief Baker, if you want to make a copy for your assistant, that'd be great.
Ever work with Earl well, Earl is, something wrong with her.
Let's see, what else do I got? That's all I have for the chairman's update.
John Doerr.
A motion to accept the chairman's update.
Don't see Johnny Mass all the time.
I'll make a motion to, accept the report.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. All right, consideration of the final draft for the 10-year capital tire replacement plan. I got your, all your tire dates for everything, and I put it together on a spreadsheet. And I'd like to send this to the Board of Selectmen forward to the Board of, to the Finance Department. Did everybody get a chance to look at it? Is it look accurate to you? And I took the dates that you provided for me, you know, through 7 years, and then I started repeating it on the, you know, for the final 3 years. And then I took numbers that, were, you know, from Blardnelli invoices on previous tire replacements, and I just kept compounding them by 4% every year to come up with the numbers, you know, cost-wise. So if that looks good to everybody, I'll accept the motion to forward this to the Board of Selectmen so that they can forward it to the Department of Finance to incorporate it into the 10-year capital plan.
I make a motion that we accept the 10-year tire plan and bring it forward to the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Consideration of the Stony Hill Command Vehicle proposal. I have more exciting news. We started at 140,000 or something. We went to 100 and something thousand, and 80,000, and I think the last proposal had us at like 74,000 for a Tahoe. I think it was 50, almost 54,000 for the Tahoe and a 20,000 upfit.
Yeah, it was coming out to about 72,000.
Yeah. Well, you know, the last meeting we had with the Board of Selectmen, they told us to come in under 68,000 or don't come in at all. And the Board of Finance pretty much said 60,000. And everybody's kind of frustrated at this point. So, you know, a $54,000 Tahoe is $5,000 over government pricing. So, I mean, that's just, it's unacceptable. I mean, government pricing on a Tahoe is $49,000. The town's not gonna spend, you know, almost 53.9 for a Tahoe.
Can I ask, Mr. Chairman, where's the pricing coming from?
Well,
Has the town used the HGHC that we used to purchase engine 6 to find out if they can get a better price that way?
they have.
Okay, I'm just asking because, I mean, that was, the town spent money to get into that program. I mean, you can buy toilet paper through that program. You can buy anything you want.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure we're exploring all avenues.
So in any event, Chief Baker originally started with wanting a pickup truck. A pickup truck has been found. The selectmen, has approved the purchase of a pickup truck. A deposit has been made on the pickup truck. And here's a specification for a well-outfitted 2023 F1 Fleet F-150 police responder Super Crew pickup truck. It'd be outfitted with a Whalen lighting package. It's got a complete graphic package, including chevron striping on the back. It'll be lettered however you want it. It's got provision for mounting of up to 6 department supplied items such as radios, flashlights, you know, whatever. It's got the Havas Shield console, you know, fully outfitted. It's got the pole bracket and you know, iPad brackets that you had previously spec'd out, which were subsequently deleted to try to save costs. It's got a sliding extender bed and a full tonneau cover. It does not have a cap. It'll be a tonneau cover similar to what you currently have. And the total price on that is we split the difference almost between what the Board of Selectmen said it's 68 and the Board of Finance said it's 60. The total of this comes to 62,624.61. The only thing that we'll add to it when we accept the truck, should we get the truck, is we'll add a battery tender to keep the batteries charged. It'll be just a simple battery tender that you'll have to manually plug in and unplug. It won't be a super auto eject or anything like But I have copies of this if everybody wanted to review it. Tell me what you think. Here's a copy for you to use. Like I said, I think it's set up pretty much, I mean, I haven't actually been in your truck, but I think it's pretty similar to the truck you got now. I mean, it's got, you know, it's a minimal light package, but it's a serviceable light package, and it's got provisions to mount up to 6 customer supplied items. And like I said, you could take delivery of this, they're talking July, I think. If you were to deliver.
The cab and the bed are probably in line.
I'm sorry?
The cab and the bed are probably on the same level as opposed to the current truck where the cab and the bed are shifted a little
What
bit.
do you think,
Yes.
Johnny?
Okay.
What do you think?
I'll make it work.
I
What do
mean,
you,
I know it's
what
not
do you
100%
carry in
of
your
what you
current
were
vehicle?
originally looking for.
Alright.
but-
Weight wise, what do you carry in the current vehicle?
Well, what I carry is minimal because of the tonneau cover. What I was originally looking for is, right now, it's set up basically to have minimal tools. I have a water can, dry chem, a spot for an SCBA, a set of irons, and a closet hook, and that's about it. That because it's all
What is it now, a 250,
it's a 250. It's a 2005 crew cab for duty. But everything had to be mounted flat, so there wasn't really any space for any command equipment. So now we have the large command table. So a lot of equipment got moved and pushed around. We found some room, but I keep my gear inside the passenger area, which is not ideal. I don't have a spot really that's conducive for the EMS AED. I keep that in the back seat as well. The original design was to put a cap to try and stand some things up, which would make it a little bit more easy to use and make it more of a command vehicle than only a first responder vehicle. So to have a spot for that table, also have I spec'd out radios, chargers for the 4 gas meter, 3 portables, the what else did I have in there that was going to need charging? I was going to look at getting a compartment to have like a dry erase board for small incidents. Because I was trying to make it kind of half and half, kind of a first responder vehicles. If I come in first on scene, have some minimal tools and extinguishers and forcible entry with the set of irons, which I think is end up being standard anyway. But and then to have it also be a command vehicle.
Is it a full 4-door cab or
It's the full 4-door.
right, is the super cab? Isn't that the one with the half doors on it?
To be honest, I don't know
'Cause I thought the
what
crew
Ford
cab,
calls what. Yeah, crew, I think is the
Yeah.
full 4 doors.
crew cab is all four.
This is a super.
Super crew. I don't know. And I just bought a 450.
I'm using the phone, I'm gonna look it up, okay? So don't break any rules.
Mr. Chairman, is it undercoated? This is New England. Is it undercoated? Do you know if that's included?
It does not, it does not say that it is.
If not, I would say get it undercoated. And spray the vet. There's a guy right in Danvers that does it for the town. Right on Federal Road. He's good.
Linex.
Yeah, he's good. He knows what he's doing. It's a different name now, but it's the same stuff.
Well, the guy Linex across from the Milford High School,
Okay.
just is my truck.
That guy's in Gupper. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because it's good stuff to do it.
Oh.
All our beds are all Linux inside.
Okay, it's full 4 doors.
Four full doors.
That's what I
And
thought.
that's super. Super crew.
They changed the names on
That's what I
it.
thought.
Yeah.
And it's
Pink
red.
cap, too.
It's, I don't believe it's a fire engine. They call it vermilion red. I think it's red.
It's probably the same road as my pickup. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there any possibility of eliminating the $1,800 for the panel cover? And taking, and just going to Cap City and buying a cap?
Can you buy a cap for $1,800?
I will stop tomorrow. I don't see it being much more than that. That tunnel cover is one of the harder,
Yeah, I was gonna ask that same question.
even if it's a little bit more, if we took it out of our
I-
operating budget.
To be quite honest with you,
I agree with you.
the other two selectmen and the Board of Finance are really frustrated with this Chiefs card thing. It started at like $140,000. They want to buy this and they don't want to buy anything else.
I would also suggest that if you could get the truck.
They
get
don't
the way
want
it
to,
is,
they don't want to add anything to it.
Get it the way it is, you throw a cap
If
on
you
it.
drop-
Throw it on the rocket center.
That's what I'm saying.
That money will disappear, that money can come from another area.
My cap
Without the
came from
visibility
Ford
that it
Embraer for my cow truck. And they did a nice job. They did a nice install on it. It's pretty good cap.
John, do you remember what was the cost of the color match cap that you would originally spec out to?
So long as they-
I- What proposal was that on? You remember?
That's $1,900.
That's the top.
Yeah, no, but that's what's on it. It's probably a hard, it's probably
It's a hard cover.
Color match cap with, the side cabinets and, LED lighting was, $3,500.
So I'd say it's almost double.
Yeah, but you eliminate the LED lights I'm talking, we just pull into Cap City on Federal Road and say how much is the cap for an F-150? I bet you that it's gonna be right in the same ballpark that the $1,800.
Right.
Not talking putting
You save money by not going with the color match, just get a stock aluminum cap.
Well, the cap companies make them for the colors.
Right, no, you can, for purpose, but that's gonna be a lot of.
I agree with Doug.
I think they ought to,
Get the
if
truck,
they
and then
can
we
drop the
worry about it
1,800
later, but I was
from the
saying
bill.
if they
The
could-
truck's already got
Okay, then just.
it. The truck is already got it.
for the
I
top.
have, I have a problem with that, right, because it hasn't come before the whole, Board of Selectmen or Board of Finance. I don't know.
They might have the truck, but they can always take the tonneau cover
I
off.
mean, it's a 2 to 3 volt, but
I understand. I understand your concern. I was told by the Board of Finance that a deposit has been made on this vehicle as specified.
I have a problem with the Board of Finance telling the fire department and telling us
Well,
what they should have. These are the gentlemen who fight the fires and respond 24/7 every day, every night of the year. And that's my
We'll
opinion.
see. Here's what the big problem was, Rich.
I know where we started.
Right, where we started, and John was getting quotes for upfitting packages, and he was getting $10,000 installation quotes, and just for installation, and $1,000 in supply, miscellaneous supplies. This proposal is a $3,000, I think it's $3,000 installation cost, and $300 or what was it? It was
3,800 installation.
3,800 for installation, and miscellaneous supplies was $150. So I mean, we're talking several $1,000s in savings just in labor and
So if you drop,
wire ties.
if you drop the tonneau cover, that'll drop the installation lower because they won't have to install the tonneau cover.
That's right. I'm not disagreeing with anybody. I mean, if we can get a cap for the same cost as a
Well,
tonneau
if you
cover,
take the tonneau cover off and use those funds, they could use repair funds to repairing a vehicle, bringing it up to spec. Different operating stuff. They can move the money for that. Because that's, the cap is, I only spent 11 years in the command car. The tonneau
I was gonna
cover,
ask the chief what he had and what the realistic cost.
and that truck I was sitting outside that I just got from the dealer, 110 was the sticker. You're not getting that. You can't get an Explorer for less than 65 grand. September, my wife's Explorer came off lease. We had to buy it out until 2020 because the things are so outrageously priced right now. And I waited 2 years for that truck.
Can we? I can't believe all this is happening. Can we accept
this truck. But can either you or you call Cap City tomorrow morning and say, right away, what can you get? If it's gonna be more, then forget it. Then you're getting the whole package. And that's it, because you can't keep going back and forth.
It's not, you're not gonna be allowed to spend a penny more than what's on this sheet.
That's it. So if one of you can do that tomorrow morning, and then get back to
I
Fred
mean, if you get back to me and
and
say,
get this,
yeah, I can
this
get a
truck
cab.
delivered.
Well, I mean, if you're asking me to get a price of a cap that's gonna be the same price as a tonneau cover, I don't think that exists.
Then
It's not gonna happen.
you're gonna have to take what you got for now, and maybe down the
And
road
then-
you wanna
and
change
then
it, then you
next
change it.
year, put it in your budget for a cap.
Correct.
In your equipment, your vehicle maintenance account.
That's it. Then you get the check, get the cap later.
You know what I mean?
You can't keep going back and forth like this. I want you to have a truck. You need a truck. Just get the truck.
So settle down by next year and the cap won't even get looked at.
You'll have the cap and be done with it.
And I've had conversation with, originally, John wanted, a box, to, a command box and we're not spending $5,000, $7,000 on a command box.
Yeah, no,
If
we
they
get
want to
the
add
truck.
stuff to it later, they can take it out of their
It's
operating.
gotta go to
So,
Graceland.
that would be my suggestion
I'll
is
try
if
to get it.
you can't get a cap for the same price as the tonneau cover, then
26.
put in your next year's budget in your vehicle maintenance account for a cap. And accept this as proposed.
So right now, if we make a proposal, this has to go before the board is selected.
This will get forwarded to the Board of Selectmen, who will forward it to the Board of Finance, and it'll be paid for and it'll be delivered in July.
All right, so I make a motion to accept this proposal and have it forward to the Board of Selectmen for their final approval for a chief's vehicle for Stony Hill Volunteer Fire Company Incorporated.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
We'll get it. You're happy now. I'll get it.
All right, now,
This has been going on.
consideration of the first Selectmen's email regarding an elected commission versus an appointed commission. Everybody read that email? I read it at the last meeting. Everybody's reread it, familiar with what the Selectman was proposing. Anybody have input? What they would like to recommend back to he's asked for us to discuss it, make a recommendation back to him regarding, a possible charter change, in the makeup of the commission, whether it's an elected commission, an appointed commission, or a combination of the two, remaining 5 members with 2 ex officios, or expanding the commission.
I'll break the ice.
All right,
All right, my opinion is, and is this was the background.
just to interrupt you for a minute. After we have all this discussion, we're gonna need to make some kind of motion to make a recommendation.
Are you start? I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
So the nature of it was, well, the fire commission's in charge of a lot of capital. We're not in charge of any capital. It's an advisory board, right? We make recommendations. We then recommend it to, and part of the proposal was, a bipartisan committee of taxpayers. Well, we're all taxpayers. We're bipartisan. We meet that requirement. We already take what we do here and recommend it to the Board of Selectmen. No offense, Rich, who aren't firemen.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So it has to be explained at that level. And then it goes further and gets further reduced and explained to the Board of Finance, who are not firefighters, right? They don't, the people, if you do an elected committee, my fear is you're gonna have yet another layer of people who don't know what we're talking about in here. And it's gonna make your jobs triple tough now, because you have to explain what you're asking for and then try to figure out why they want that. So I think making an open elected thing is not the way to go. That's my 2 cents on it.
And I agree with you, Doug, and I already expressed my opinion to the Board of Selectmen, and they're taking an advisement. I agree with you, if, we could, and no offense to any housewives or bakers or whatever, but I think the Board of Selectmen has the due diligence to put people on the fire commission that are knowledgeable, and that's why we formed the fire commission. So we had those people lined up to advise the Board of Selectmen and further to advise the Board of Finance. So I agree with you. I think it should be a non-elected board, it should be appointed by the, board of selectmen. I do think maybe we should have two more members on the board, to make it a seven, board member, and take off the selectmen recommended, person that's selected to be on. So would be all appointed.
If any input,
Well, yeah.
as a newly appointed member,
As a newly appointed member, I'm trying not to cause trouble here, but it seems to be difficult.
it has become difficult this past month at least.
I think the Board of Fire Commissioners needs to know what the fire side does and how it works. An example, when I was the chairman of the Fire Commission, I presented to the selectmen, Darien, when pass devices were first coming out, the portable ones, we were trying to get the funds for them. Everybody on that blind board up top sat there, you don't need that, you don't need that, costs money. And they didn't understand what a pass device was. And the only way I got through to them was I had one as a sample, and I just turned it on and set it aside. And then after
After they couldn't ignore it
when
anymore.
it finally got their attention, I said, that's a down firefighter. Now we know where he is. We got the money. But they had no clue. No matter what I did to tell them, they couldn't comprehend it. So someone that sits on this side needs to know what that side needs.
And I think Chief Rubino's expressed some of those exact sentiments. He, as sitting on the police commission, they get some of those same presentations and they kind of don't know what they're talking about, and it has to be explained in dumbed down form to them.
And if it's an elected position, you go through the annual elections at the vote, it's gonna be whoever is put up by the RTC or the Democrat town committee. And that could be a housewife. It's gonna be, there's gotta be some assurance that the people here can look out for the interest of what the taxpayer needs, but it's done through them.
It's your turn, Chief.
So, this fire commission has to be people that have been in the fire service or still in the fire service. Coming from,
Too late.
Speak your mind.
coming from the police commission, okay? It's a different scenario versus the fire department. You're not gonna have regular, normal citizens sitting up here knowing what pump you're gonna have, what type of gear you're gonna have. They don't have a clue of what you're talking about. You have to have people that been in the fire service for, 10, 15, 20 years or more and know what they're talking about and looks out for the benefit of the town. So it should be, me personally, it should be an appointed position. But there needs to be fire personnel on this commission. Just the stuff that we just did tonight. The average homeowner, they're not gonna know what's going on. They don't know the difference between an E1, a Pierce, or a Suffin, or a Seagrave, or what tires you're gonna have, or what, how often you have to have the pumps tested and all that. They don't have a clue. So, to benefit the town, the way it's set up now is the best way to do it. Me first.
You weren't here, but I mentioned to eliminate the board selected member of it.
All right, well, I have some thoughts on it. I agree with everybody that it should remain, at least a portion of it, if not all of it, should remain an elected or an appointed, position. Dan has expressed some thoughts to me and his feelings are, well, if it's a group of firemen, then you're just advocating for the fire departments and you're just rubber stamping everything for the fire departments and you're not taking the best interest of the taxpayers into consideration.
I think we have pretty good evidence that that's not happening.
And I argued that point to him. I says, I'm the last person that did think that rubber stamping anything for the fire departments. I mean, if you all remember right, I was the one that voted no on the acquisition of the ladder truck the first time around. And I've given Chief McCollum a hard time on some of his requests. Chief Baker's obviously gotten a hard time on it. Chief Baker's got a hard time on his command vehicle here, so I'm not rubber stamping anything, you know, anybody thinks that's the case. I think it's very beneficial to have a member from each department on the commission, and that's why I advocated for Chief Rubino to be on the commission. Because I think we bring a lot to the commission just by having, you know, previous experience in the department. We know how the department operates. We know what the department has and what they're gonna need. And I think that's very important. I also think it's important to have people like Doug on the commission who have, you know, previous, you know, experience with outside, same with Todd, with an outside agency, you know, to bring a different perspective on things operate, you know, outside of the town of Bethel, but also within the fire service. So I think that's important. You know, so Danielle expressed, well, we don't have any input from just the general taxpayer. I said, well, we're all general taxpayers. We all live in this town. He says,
And it's a public meeting. Anybody can come and
Right.
express their.
yeah, I mean, I've only canceled one regular meeting so far, and I always invite public input, and we always have none. So there can't be that much concern about what we're doing. So my thoughts are, you know, if they want to make a change, if they want to have more input from people that are not fire service related, let's expand the commission. You know, let's eliminate the selectman's position on the commission. No all due respect,
Yeah.
Rich. I mean, you know, this commission reports to the Board of Selectmen. There's really no reason to have a selectman on the commission because essentially you're double dipping on everything you vote on. You're voting on everything twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
nothing's gonna get by you. I mean, it still has to go to the Board of Selectmen, which you sit on.
Right.
So there's no purpose of you being on the Board of Fire Commissioners other than,
it's when the board was set up, we felt they needed someone from the Board of Selectmen to help organize and get it going in the beginning.
are we organizing?
I think so.
All right.
I think so.
So
I'm willing to
so
give up my seat.
my suggestion would be to expand the commission to 7 members and have it either be made up of one member from each fire, one senior or retired veteran, whatever you want to call it, member from each fire department, and either 1 or 2 members that have outside of Bethel Fire Department experience, and either 3 or 4, depending how which way we go, of at-large members. So we can either have, you know, 3 fire service members or 4 fire service, you know, experienced members, or 3 at-large members or 4 at-large members, depending on which way you want to make the recommendation.
Well, if you have 2 outside, 2 local, that's 4 right there.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, currently we have 2 and 2, you know, you have yourself and Doug as the members that are outside
Now,
fire
they
department.
tell me For 3.
So then we could appoint 3 at-large members. Or we could make we could even make it so that the 3 at-large members are elected positions and have the 4 appointed and 3 elected, or you could just make all 7 appointed.
I
don't think you can do that on the board.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. It's either elected or.
Well, and then to keep it simple, let's just make it 7.
Make it 7 and let
You
it be
know,
appointed.
one from each fire
Or you leave it
department.
The way it is.
Yep.
What?
Or you leave it the way it is.
Not fixed. I mean, it's not broken, don't, you know.
Well, I don't know. I've
Well,
I don't want to speak for Doug, but
Lately, we've all-
I think Doug and I have always kind of been a proponent of getting Rich off the commission. All due respect.
Well,
We want to give you the
you know-
vote, but
you know, I've been here for 14 years in the selectman position. I've responded to a lot of the fires. I know dealing with these guys with their budget for 14 years. Again, I'm a native of the town. I watched them build a firehouse over there, both firehouses. A couple times in Stony Hill Firehouse. So in my position, I think I'm knowledge of what goes on.
yeah, nobody's just.
But someone else might not be, and I agree with that.
We're looking. I'm looking to get, you know, a fresh input. You know, an additional input. You're still going to have your input on, you know,
Yeah.
on whatever we do because we report to your board.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever we do, you're still getting the input, whether
No,
you're on this
I
board or
have no
not.
problem. I have no problem with eliminate the selectmen on the committee. On the
So
commission.
I think that would be my recommendation, if, I don't know if anybody has any additional thoughts on it, is to have a senior veteran, whatever you want to call it, member from each fire department, 2 other fire service, personnel from outside of, you know, with experience from outside of Bethel, and then 3 at-large members, all appointed by the Board of Selectmen or the Selectmen.
No, the board of selectmen.
Board of
The board of selectmen. He makes the nomination and the board approves it. Generally.
Do you guys have any thoughts on it? I mean, you guys have a voice.
Your quorum will change, just remember that.
Or will change.
And I
Well,
think
if you have 7,
Your quorum will change. The required amount of
People.
members you have to have for a meeting will change.
oh,
And we'll go on.
Yeah, the more you
Just
have, the
remember
more you
that.
have to
Yeah,
have.
go up by
right,
one.
available.
Quorum would be 4.
But what you have to consider is if you go with elected, you have no idea what you're gonna get. You could get somebody that's going to say, I don't care what they ask for, they should get what they want because they're firefighters. You could get somebody.
Or you can get the other end of the spectrum.
Or you can
too.
get the other end of the spectrum that says, you're getting nothing, I think you have more than you need now. So that's the problem. But if you actually keep it appointed, then our selectmen can actually have a very thorough, you know, application process and find out what kind of views does this person have going into this position. Are they going to be more on the thrifty side, or are they going to be more on the pro fireman side? You can find that out, and then you can decide whether, well, they're going to be the right fit for the commission, or, well, maybe we should try and find somewhere else.
And I think
you
that's
have
how,
that
I
voting.
think that's how we were all appointed to begin with. I mean,
Exactly.
we were all vetted.
Right, so that's why I think the appointed process is better than the elected process.
And what is your feelings on having a member from each fire department to represent the commission?
I don't have a problem.
I think the chiefs have to be here. There should be an additional member from each firehouse.
Well, that's what I meant.
That's what I mean.
I'm
It's if the
meaning
chief-
myself and Tony.
Well, I'm even talking to another 2 people on top of that, because if John ain't here, who's gonna speak for?
No, we're
them?
talking about
So-
the board, not who's here.
Well, you are on.
No, we
the board,
already
yes.
said that you could be here in my place.
Yeah, we shook that out.
Oh, we did for this time?
3 meetings ago, I think.
Yeah.
And we never stop public comment anyway.
We always let you talk. Have I ever told you you couldn't talk, Doug? Shut up, Doug.
No, this is just who would be the voting board.
board, yes.
So, and that was something else that Dan expressed to me. So, well, you know, you and Tony, maybe you and Tony, you know, as members of the fire department, you guys should be ex officio members. Well, that kind of
Yeah.
defeats the purpose. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I wouldn't want to, I mean,
And I won't do
And,
it.
and I'll speak to that. You 2 guys, since you come too, you give your expertise for being a chief for many years and being in the department for many years. So that you 2 guys are really valuable, in my opinion, to the fire commission.
thanks, Rich.
But there's
Even though
just
you
so
don't
many
want-
layers as it is. Now we have the layer of the fire commission, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, because I think having that knowledgeable people, then we can get things discussed. Now we have a board of knowledgeable people that can endorse and understand what we're asking for. But then you have that level of reasoning from the board of selectmen, and then you've got the penny pinchers at the end. So they're gonna get their say. So there's enough layers in there that's gonna keep every aspect already taken care of. So to add it into the commission, it's redundancy.
All right. Does everybody
You
voice
know,
their opinion?
As long as this commission advocates for the fire department, I'm good. We have people right now on other committees, commissions in this town, who are walking around saying that when the consultant came, you know, we all just fed him all kinds of BS about what we wanted, and that report should just be thrown out. Well, that's not true. The consultant came, Bob Graff came, he asked us questions, we all sat down with him, we answered his questions, and he moved on to the next person or group and asked them those questions. He toured both fire stations. He went all over Bethel to see what the density was downtown, see what the density is on Route 6, see what the outlying density is for housing. The guy did a great report. I'm sorry if you have some people that feel that Chief Baker and I fed Bob exactly what we wanted. That's not true. You know, he asked about the building, Bethel Fire. I'm sure he asked about Stony Hills Fire's building also, now coming up on 20 years old, I believe, Chief. Okay. Bethel Fire's building's way older than that. And I said to him, I said, yeah, you know, the past couple of years, we've tried to replace doors. We'd like to take down the truck room ceiling and just go retro, just spray it and give a little more room so people feel that there's more space in here, you know, and get rid of the original ceiling that's there. The grid is all yellowed from when you were allowed to smoke in the building, which you're not anymore. And a lot of the tiles actually, I think are pretty much original. They're yellow.
Trucks aren't even allowed to smoke in the building
Right?
anymore.
And it's much cheaper to pull that all down once, clean up the wiring in there and just spray everything like you have in most like Costco's and places like that. Just spray that decking and move on, right? People are upset that I explained that to Bob. I'm like, you know, it's not for me, it's for everybody. It's to make the people that are there over 100, by the way, about 120, 25 now we have. During the height of COVID, we had like 39 active members. We've built it back up. And that's the command staff helping me do that. Okay? But we want them to come in and feel welcome in the building. And I'm sure Chief Baker is of the same opinion on Stony Hill. There's stuff already at 20 years old that need to be addressed, right, Chief?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is where we're at with people that just are walking around and talking. You know what? They should come and talk to Chief Baker and I.
I think we're getting a little bit off track. I hear what you're
I
saying.
want you to understand that we need you guys to be our advocates because there's people out there who are hammering us every day.
And you know, Chief, those same people are hammering me every day
Right.
too.
It's brutal.
I understand.
I'm a 42-year member. Been there 42 years. Okay? I'm
Chief,
here
you want
40 years
one of
deep.
your members to speak? He's got his
Yeah.
hand up. I'll leave it up to you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, I know what you guys are talking about and I appreciate everything. I understand why you want to, expand the commission. And if you do that, I don't see that being a problem moving forward, as long as you stay as an advocate for us. Because you're saying you want to add three additional members like at large. So does that mean that they are coming in with fire service experience or
Without.
without? So-
Maybe with, you don't know.
Well, yeah.
But that being
They're
said,
elected.
just off the preliminary numbers from yesterday, only 15% of the town came out to vote. So 85% of the town thought, hey, I don't need to vote or anything like that. It doesn't matter. So that same 85% of the town population is then going to have to say on how we do and how we operate. Seems a little ridiculous. I think if you guys are going to add members, at least make sure that they have some sort of, at least 10, 15 years of experience, because you're our advocates to the town, basically, to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance. So if that, gets taken away, then no offense, but you guys are utterly useless because you're not helping us and you're just, making tally marks and, counting pennies when that's not what we're here for. That's my opinion.
Okay, well, again, I agree. I think it's very important to have the members with the fire background on the commission. But I also understand Dan's point that, we can't just have, there's the perception that it's just a bunch of firemen advocating for a bunch of firemen.
Yeah,
Well, kind of, yeah. But he wants the perception that it's the townspeople that are, so that's why I suggested keeping the two and the two and then adding 3 at-large members, expanding the commission to 7. The people with the fire service connection still have the majority.
It would have to be very clearly spelled out in the way it's written up the charter.
Yeah, it would be, there would
It'd be
be,
bastardized so easy.
yeah, there would be 2 members appointed, one from each fire department, 1 veteran member of each fire department, 2 other members with fire service experience from outside the town of Bethel, and then 3 at-large members. For a total of 7.
I like it the way it is. So you guys do the vote, but I'm not changing. I think it's run just fine now. Except for.
With or without.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I
Everybody
mean,
else has their own opinion.
Keep it a
That's
5-man
fine.
board and
Keep it simple.
I'm open to anybody making a motion. I mean,
table it and make a motion.
I don't wanna,
No
ta-
table.
I don't wanna, I don't wanna
I
table
don't
it
wanna
because
make, I don't wanna make.
the
motion.
selectmen is
Somebody
looking
else.
to
Let you
propose
go
charter
first.
changes, so.
I make a motion that this Bethel Fire Commission stays the way it is with the amount of members, except for
The member of the board of.
the member of the Board of Selectmen. Should be just on the Board of Selectmen, not on the Fire Commission. So we need somebody to take that person's place. Now, if you want a regular person in there, that's up to them.
Well, if you want to add to your motion that it could be a general person from the public.
And it could be a general person from the public, so then there's approved by the Board of Selectmen, but now you have somebody
Yeah.
from the outside
I speak.
looking in.
I'll second.
But now one thing, caveat to that is our terms end, right, on staggered
Mhm.
basis. We should define how you fill those positions going forward. So I don't know who's up. I might be up next,
I think you are.
but like, okay, so how does my position get filled,
Mhm.
right? If we don't spell it out now, we're gonna be having the same discussion.
Well, you
Well,
can still follow, you can still follow. the
They either
same-
find someone with your
The same
same
protocol.
experiences
Yeah.
or reappoint.
But that would have to.
Mine's every 2 years.
Yeah.
Mine is every 2 years because of the election. And in the couple of beginnings, people were 2 years and some people were 4 years to stagger that. So
Yeah,
I think-
DJ and myself were 4 years, I
Yeah.
think.
I think,
I don't,
Shankman went first,
Yeah,
right?
Shankman was out last
Yeah.
year. You're next. DJ resigned. And Todd
And it's 25.
But I see Doug's point is if you don't set the parameters in every position, you
Correct.
could lose your,
Right.
outside
Yeah,
fire.
it needs to
For
be
a number-
spelled out
Very
specifically.
clearly.
Well, that's what I said.
if you just had one of the general public,
So the motion
you
is
know,
still,
we've got 4 of the regular
Right.
members.
so I think to get to what Tony's trying to describe, the motion should be to maintain a 5-person commission with 1 veteran member representing each fire department,
Appointed by,
All appointed.
all appointed by the
Appointed
select.
the Board of Selectmen.
okay. So the ones from the fire departments are appointed by the select,
Yes.
not by the department.
Correct.
Correct.
So maintain a 5-person commission with 1 veteran member from each fire, representing each fire department.
Mhm.
2 other fire service members from outside the town of Bethel.
Correct.
And 1 at-large member.
That large number.
And then you gotta define how the term
And keep the terms the way the Board of Selectmen
Had
said
Stagger.
it when they
Just keep
first,
staggering.
when they first started the Board of Fire.
The
Commission.
new person will assume my slot.
Yeah, you got all that?
So do you want to amend your motion, Tony, to?
So I amend my motion.
To what he said.
To what Fred said, okay? So we're gonna keep the fire commission the way it is. So two veteran firefighters from both departments, 2 fire personnel, 2 outside persons outside both
Outside the
departments.
town of Bethel.
Out of the town of Bethel, okay? And one person,
From the community.
one community person to take the place of our selectman, Wilkie Street.
I can read this for you if you want me to read it.
The
This is the
terms-
actual document, yeah.
Oh, I think I have that.
The actual document.
It's here somewhere.
Yeah, here it is. I had the two.
Right.
Under chapter 13 of the Board of Fire Commission. Here it is right here. So we can say to the Board of Selectmen that they go by the rules set, chapter 13, the Board of Fire Commission rules. It's right here.
But they want, it's not gonna be, appointed, it's gonna be, in the charter. This is currently an ordinance. They want
Correct,
put it
I
in
have
the
to put
charter.
this in the
Right.
charter.
Yeah.
Right.
Right now, this
To
is
use
ordinance.
this
You can
template-
take out
to use
the-
this
the
template for
selectmen
the
one
charter.
and just replace that with 5 shall be appointed.
Right, but I think we want to change it too, so that it also so it also says that there's a veteran member from each fire department, because that's not currently.
That's not in here.
No.
That's not in.
That's not in here. That was, I was just
Did it
fortunate
say
enough to
anything
be
about
appointed in
being
the beginning, and
retired?
then I advocated for Tony
Yeah.
to be added.
A wasn't there something wording about non-active member? That, I mean, you're really semi-retired and so is Tony
Yeah.
from the departments.
Well, that's why I say a veteran, whatever you want to call it. I mean, legal counsel is gonna write it up how,
Yeah.
you know, however it should be
And
written up,
when
but I
it-
mean,
and when it goes before the Charter Revision Commission, they're gonna change wording, or they have an attorney, they'll put the proper wording in and everything. And there'll be a public hearing, or we can review it too. You can go to the board and speak on it too. When it comes up.
So it says here, all 4 members shall be appointed for 4 years.
Which is true.
It's 4 years.
But they started at a stagger, just for the first time out of the gate.
Yes.
Right.
They'll serve a term of 4 years with the initial term staggered with one expiring the first Monday of December 23,
23. then
one
one-
expiring first Monday, December
24,
24,
And then the other one. is
remaining 2 expire first Monday of December
So
25.
thereafter.
Mhm.
and then Rich has expired every 2 years with the
Yeah.
election.
And he's
And he gets
reappointed.
reappointed. So. You want to just withdraw your motion? We'll start fresh.
Yes.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna be easy being on secretary. All right,
I didn't think this was gonna be happening.
I'll take a stab at it.
Go ahead.
Can I make a suggestion? Just read this. Just take this piece out.
Well, you want to make the motion? You can. Yeah, you can.
I
You-
can't.
you- Make the motion,
We'll
chief.
just take this piece out, you know what I mean?
I don't
Because you
have,
want five
Which
members.
piece you taking out?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Go
So
ahead.
it should be, the commission shall be comprised of 5 voting members, all being electors of the town of Bethel. Chosen by the Board of Selectmen. And that's it. Chosen and appointed by the Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, but that doesn't
Yeah, but
take
that
care of any of the
doesn't take care of
definitions.
And then,
Definition.
that's the first, and then it's 2 members shall be fire department representatives. What did you want it to say?
Veterans.
I was gonna say
Veteran status,
Mhm.
okay,
senior, veteran.
Yeah. I mean, that's,
I mean,
just gotta remove
Two
the
residents with,
selectmen.
fire
I
background.
mean, you can even make it really in-depth and make it 2 past chiefs. I mean, I don't know how deep you want to get with it.
Yeah, you may not-
I don't know.
When we originally established it, we didn't want any current members of the departments.
Yeah.
When we originally, so that's why we were looking for the retired or semi-retired.
Yeah.
I know if there's a great emergency, you guys respond.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, I think Tony and myself, we're pretty much just drivers.
So you can just state that they shall be veteran or retired members. That's all. It makes it easy.
Right. I mean, I don't think our motion has to define what the document, how the document's gonna read.
Yeah.
So,
You want to keep the 5-man board.
all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Appointed board.
I'm gonna make the motion. I'll make a motion that we recommend to the Board of Selectmen that we maintain a 5-person commission with one senior veteran member representing each fire department, 2 members with outside of the town of Bethel Fire Department experience, and 1 at-large member, all serving with alternating
terms.
Staggered. They call it staggered.
Staggering terms, expiring every
Staggered
4 years.
4 years.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
Did you get it, Casey?
And I have a
We'll let Todd
recording,
second that.
thankfully.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We had discussion. So carries. And if you could just note in there for the selectmen, there was much discussion had on
It'll be there, don't worry. And you can watch it too.
it. All right. Final item on the agenda is the motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
Yeah, it's early. Real nice.
Welcome, Todd.
I know in our own.